Well, good morning, everyone. Working on this 2014 GMC Sierra 1500 with the 5.3. As you know, in our previous video, we switched out the passenger side exhaust intake manifold because it had carbon buildup and it had some manufacturer defects with the bolts breaking. And we solved that problem. Got the bracket on the back, special bracket as well. So now we're working on this side. I kept hearing poofing on this side. So I come to find out one of the bolts was already broke from the manufacturer, but didn't hear much about any problems with the passenger side. I mean, not the passenger, the driver side. So we're going to show you exactly which bolt actually broke, so it gives you a heads up. When you crank your car up in the morning, or it actually doesn't matter when the engine's cold, on the passenger side, you're going to have that bolt that's way back there in the corner. I got mine loose, so you can see right where that start with this aluminum foil is, that one on the far right rear. Those tend to break on this side. It's the only one that breaks. It was already broke. At the same time, I'm not happy about it, but at the same time, I am, because there was no way I was going to be able to get my tools back there to get it, so it was kind of easy for me. But I got to get a special bracket for this one. So, as you know, you got to take the tire off. You got to take the fender well off with the star screw bit. This is what I use. Makes it easier to take that fender off. Keep all your bolts in one place. Take all your your ignition coils, not ignition coils, your spark plug wires out. Take the cover off if yours didn't come with one. And just to make life easier, you have all this room. You will have to use an end pack on those because sometimes they get stuck, and some of them will go only halfway. Mine came off with an end pack, made it easy. Once you get those off, replace the studs with new ones, because most of the intake manifolds do. Now, there's a metal spacer that's attached to your original manifold, your exhaust intake manifold. You need to take the old spacer out and put it into your new one. It's a little round donut piece, because the reason why I say that, because you might get confused. Because the intake manifold, the exhaust, comes with this this gasket, which is only meant, it comes with the passenger side, came with one of these two, but this one does not fit the driver's side. I think they just give it to you. But at first, I couldn't find this where this one was. There was no space for it. So come to find out, GM used a little donut spacer, a little wider than this, and you have to attach it to the new one. Then this is not useful for the driver's side. And once you get it back in there, get your bolts started in there first. Do not tighten them yet, so where you can hold this up for you. Make sure you put a brand new gasket in there. I will show you the part number that I used. And you're going to use brand new heavy-duty Dorman bolts, which are 13 millimeter. I showed in my previous video, I give you the part number, but I don't have the package anymore. But it's in my first video for the passenger side if you want to check it out. So if you're going to change your spark plugs, I would do all that while you're down here and make life a lot easier. You could do the spark plugs from the top, but it's a lot easier from the bottom. And FYI, there's not very many videos for the driver's side, so I thought I would make one. One of the videos that I've seen says you have to remove this. You don't have to. All you have to do is just take this cover off that goes here, undo your ignition, your spark plug wires, leave your plugs in there. Make sure you take your dipstick tube out if it's broke, or if your dipstick's broke, take it out at the same time. Then you just have to take the aluminum foil, that little cover down there, off. Then just wedge it out. Wear gloves if you're afraid to cut yourself on this, because this will mess you up if you're not careful. I just wedged it out, don't break anything, and I put it back in there the same exact way. You just basically have to put this end, like, shove it in here first, and you just basically slide it back. That's all you do. It should take you only less than about 5 minutes worth of play. But don't ram it in there, because you don't want to break your spark plugs, because they will hang on your spark plugs. Okay, guys, here's the bolts. And this is what they look like. These are Dorman. You get these little rallies for like 20 bucks. They're worth it. So, get that. Make sure they go in the hole first. These are meant to fit this truck, and they do fit perfectly, unless your holes are stripped out. And this is the gasket that I recommend using. These work better than the ones that come with the intake. The one that comes with the intake is crap. So, I'm trying to see if there's a part number on here. But anyway, you can get these at O'Reilly's. Actually, here's the part number. It's MS19936. O'Reilly's carries this. This is a better brand, and you're going to be happy with it. And on my end, I had to remove this because for some reason my dipstick broke when I got the truck. And we tried drilling a hole in it, tried to pull it out, and as you can tell, it doesn't come out. So I can't even put this back in without this bending. So I'm going to have to try to pull this out to put this back in, because I ordered another one for $22, and these things are expensive at the store. You're talking about close to $100, and the transmission dipstick tubes are like $30, but for some reason AutoZone don't know anything anymore when you need something that you can't get at your other store that you usually go to, like O'Reilly's. And I just got lucky and found it on eBay for a hell of a lot cheaper. I'm not spending $90 on the tube, so wasted our time trying to get this out and boiled it and everything. Nothing helped, so I got to put this back in there for now, but I'm going to try to see if even if I have to cut that off for now until the new one comes in, that would probably be the best bet for now. And here's the original bolt that came off the rear, that rear bolt on the driver's side. That's the only one that tends to break. This was not done by me. It was already loose and broke. Now I see where a little bit of the puffing was coming from on the driver's side. Makes it seem like it's your actual flange or your exhaust, and it's not. It's just this one bolt. But see, there's not much of a difference in them, but these are better. You're gonna be happier with these. Just replace them all. Keep your original ones that are not broke, just in case if one of your holes is stripped and these won't go in. These will definitely go back in. Not the broken one, but your ones that are not broke. Alright, so when you get the first one in, you don't want to tighten it. You just got to be sure that on your gasket, it will say down, face it that way. But please match it up right before you go through all that trouble, you know. But you're going to put this one here so you can hold it more level. But we're going to take care of that real quick, and we'll be right back. Okay, when you get all your bolts in, it can be a pain sometimes because you have to actually adjust the push up on the gasket, but be careful because it is sharp on the ends and it will cut your finger. It's best to put them in the holes, like 2 at a time, through the gasket before you put it in the hole, because you got to hold it up, and if you don't have them lined up right, you're not going to get it in. So, as you get them in, tighten them down with your 13mm. You can torque it to where it needs to be, then you should be set. Make sure you have them all tight, because if you crank it and it keeps puttering, then you know it's not tight, because they might sound louder until you tighten them up. But like I said, use the new ones, because you know they're all the same size, and get it done. Once you get them all tight, make sure you start tightening up your 3 flange bolts, your bolts to your exhaust, to your, just tighten up the 3 bolts that connects to your flange, to your catalytic converter, and you'll be good. Alright, after all the fuss, I couldn't find the hole for the dipstick tube because we had a broken dipstick wedged into the dipstick tube. So we managed to get it out. What we did is we had to drill a hole through the plastic a little bit. And the funny thing is, all we had to do was cut the end off the other end of the dipstick and take a pair of pliers and just rip it out. And it came out the other side, which now kind of made my day, because then I was able to put it back in the hole that it belongs to be in. Once you get it in there in the hole, which is right down there, you can see it. If you get your little camera out, you can see it. So I'm putting the 10mm bolt back in to hold it into place so it doesn't come off for the new dipstick tube, but you put that in last, because once you put that cover on, you're just going to break the tip of the dipstick itself. And we'll get the cover back on. The only pain in the ass part is getting that bolt tight right there. That one's going to be a pain in my ass, because even with an extension and everything, there's not enough wiggle room. I wanted to take a ratchet and put it in there and just go, but nope, it won't let me do that either. So we're going to get the rest of these coil packs back on and get on, and we're going to go on from there.